Top 30 Accountant Interview Questions and Answers. Preparing for an accountant interview requires more than understanding accounting principles. Employers want candidates who can demonstrate accuracy, financial knowledge, analytical thinking, ethical judgment, and strong attention to detail. In this guide, you will find 30 commonly asked accountant interview questions with professional sample answers. These questions cover bookkeeping, financial statements, reconciliations, budgeting, taxation, accounts payable, accounts receivable, software, internal controls, and workplace situations. Reviewing these answers will help you communicate your accounting knowledge confidently and prepare effectively for different types of accounting interviews. 1. Tell me about yourself. I am a detail-oriented accounting professional with a strong understanding of financial reporting, bookkeeping, reconciliations, and accounting principles. I enjoy working with numbers and analyzing financial information to support accurate business decisions. I am comfortable using accounting software, spreadsheets, and financial reporting tools. My strengths include organization, accuracy, problem-solving, and meeting deadlines. I also understand the importance of confidentiality and ethical conduct when handling financial records. I am eager to contribute my accounting skills while continuing to develop professionally. 2. Why did you choose accounting as a career? I chose accounting because I enjoy working with numbers, analyzing information, and solving financial problems. Accounting also provides an opportunity to understand how businesses operate financially and how accurate information supports better decisions. I appreciate the structured nature of accounting while also enjoying analytical challenges. I believe my attention to detail, organizational skills, and interest in finance make accounting a suitable career for me. I also value the opportunity to continuously learn about regulations, technology, reporting standards, and financial management. 3. What are the basic principles of accounting? The basic principles of accounting provide a framework for recording and reporting financial transactions accurately. Important principles include consistency, matching, revenue recognition, going concern, and accrual accounting. These principles help ensure financial statements are reliable, comparable, and understandable. Accountants must also maintain accurate records and follow applicable accounting standards and regulations. Understanding these principles allows me to properly classify transactions, prepare financial statements, identify errors, and provide management with dependable financial information for business planning and decision-making purposes. 4. What is the difference between accounts payable and accounts receivable? Accounts payable represents money a company owes to suppliers or vendors for goods and services purchased on credit. Accounts receivable represents money customers owe the company for products or services purchased on credit. Accounts payable is recorded as a liability, while accounts receivable is recorded as an asset. Managing both accurately is essential for maintaining healthy cash flow. I would regularly review outstanding balances, verify supporting documents, reconcile accounts, and follow established procedures to ensure transactions are complete and accurate. 5. What is a balance sheet? A balance sheet is a financial statement that presents a company's financial position at a specific point in time. It includes 3 major components: assets, liabilities, and shareholders or owners, equity. The fundamental accounting equation is assets equal liabilities plus equity. I use the balance sheet to understand what a company owns, what it owes, and the remaining value attributable to owners. Reviewing changes in these accounts can also help identify financial trends, unusual transactions, and potential accounting issues. 6. What is an income statement? An income statement summarizes a company's revenues, expenses, gains, and losses over a specific period. It is used to determine whether the business generated a profit or incurred a loss during that period. I would review revenue trends, operating expenses, gross profit, operating income, and net income when analyzing an income statement. Comparing current results with previous periods or budgets can help identify significant changes. Accurate classification and recording of transactions are essential for producing a reliable income statement. 7. What is a cash flow statement? A cash flow statement shows how cash and cash equivalents move into and out of a business during a specific period. It generally includes operating, investing, and financing activities. The statement helps management understand liquidity and determine whether the company generates enough cash to meet its obligations. I would carefully review cash receipts, payments, investments, financing transactions, and reconciliations. Understanding cash flow is important because a profitable company can still experience financial difficulties if it does not maintain sufficient available cash. 8. How do you ensure accuracy in your accounting work? I ensure accuracy by following established accounting procedures, reviewing source documents, reconciling accounts, and checking calculations before finalizing records. I pay close attention to transaction dates, amounts, account classifications, and supporting documentation. I also use spreadsheets or accounting software carefully and review reports for unusual variances. When possible, I perform independent checks before submitting work. Maintaining organized records and following a consistent process helps reduce errors. I also address discrepancies promptly rather than allowing small mistakes to become larger problems. 9. What is bank reconciliation? Bank reconciliation is the process of comparing a company's accounting records with its bank statement to identify differences and ensure the cash balance is accurate. Differences can result from outstanding checks, deposits in transit, bank fees, interest, or recording errors. I would compare transactions systematically, investigate unexplained differences, make necessary adjustments, and confirm that the reconciled balance agrees with supporting documentation. Regular reconciliations are important because they help detect errors, unauthorized transactions, duplicate entries, and potential fraudulent activity. 10. What accounting software have you used? I am comfortable working with accounting software and can quickly learn new systems when required. Depending on the organization, accounting platforms may support general ledger management, invoicing, accounts payable, accounts receivable, payroll, reporting, and reconciliation processes. I have experience working with spreadsheets and understand the importance of accurate data entry and controlled access. When learning new software, I focus on understanding the organization's procedures first, then practice the relevant functions. I also verify reports against source records to ensure reliable results. 11. How do you handle tight accounting deadlines? I handle tight deadlines by prioritizing tasks according to urgency, financial impact, and reporting requirements. I create a clear schedule, organize supporting documents, and complete critical activities first. I avoid rushing through important checks because accuracy remains essential under pressure. If several deadlines conflict, I communicate early with my supervisor and clarify priorities. I also maintain organized records throughout the accounting cycle so information is readily available. This approach helps me complete time-sensitive assignments efficiently while maintaining appropriate quality and accuracy. 12. What is accrual accounting? Accrual accounting records revenues when they are earned and expenses when they are incurred, rather than waiting until cash is received or paid. This method provides a more accurate representation of a company's financial performance for a specific period. Examples include accrued expenses, prepaid expenses, accounts receivable, and accounts payable. I understand that proper accruals are important during period-end closing because they ensure revenues and expenses are recognized in the appropriate accounting period and financial statements accurately reflect business activity. 13. What is depreciation? Depreciation is the systematic allocation of the cost of a tangible fixed asset over its estimated useful life. It recognizes that assets such as equipment, vehicles, and machinery provide benefits over multiple accounting periods. Common depreciation methods include straight-line and reducing balance methods, depending on applicable accounting requirements and company policies. I would ensure assets are properly recorded, useful lives and residual values are appropriately determined, and depreciation is calculated consistently. Accurate depreciation affects both financial statements and the reported carrying value of assets. 14. How do you handle an accounting error? When I discover an accounting error, I first determine its source, financial impact, and whether it affects other records or reports. I review the supporting documentation and trace the transaction through the accounting system. After identifying the appropriate correction, I follow company procedures for making adjustments and documenting the change. If the error is significant, I inform the appropriate supervisor promptly. I believe errors should be addressed transparently and carefully, because correcting them quickly helps maintain accurate financial records and reduces future risks. 15. What is a general ledger? A general ledger is the primary accounting record containing individual accounts used to summarize a company's financial transactions. It includes accounts such as cash, revenue, expenses, assets, liabilities, and equity. The general ledger provides the foundation for preparing financial statements and other financial reports. I would ensure transactions are posted to the correct accounts, review balances regularly, and reconcile relevant accounts. Maintaining an accurate general ledger is essential because errors in ledger accounts can affect financial statements and management reporting. 16. What is a trial balance? A trial balance is a report listing the balances of general ledger accounts at a particular date. Its primary purpose is to verify that total debit balances equal total credit balances under the double entry accounting system. Although a balanced trial balance does not guarantee that every transaction is correct, it helps identify certain recording or posting errors. I would review unusual balances and investigate discrepancies before financial statements are prepared. A properly reviewed trial balance supports a more reliable month-end or year-end closing process. 17. How do you manage confidential financial information? I treat financial information as highly confidential and follow company policies regarding access, storage, sharing, and retention. I only provide information to authorized individuals and avoid discussing sensitive financial matters in inappropriate environments. I also use secure systems, strong access controls, and careful document handling practices. If I am uncertain whether information can be shared, I verify authorization before proceeding. Protecting confidential information is part of professional accounting conduct because unauthorized disclosure can create financial, legal, operational, and reputational risks. 18. What is budgeting? Budgeting is the process of planning expected revenues, expenses, cash requirements, and other financial activities for a future period. A budget provides management with a financial framework for allocating resources and monitoring performance. Accountants can support budgeting by analyzing historical data, identifying trends, preparing estimates, and comparing actual results with budgeted amounts. I would investigate significant variances and communicate relevant findings to management. Effective budgeting helps organizations control costs, plan investments, manage cash flow, and make informed financial decisions. 19. How do you perform variance analysis? Variance analysis involves comparing actual financial results with budgets, forecasts, previous periods, or other established benchmarks. I begin by identifying significant differences in revenue, expenses, margins, or other key accounts. I then investigate the reasons behind those differences by reviewing transactions, operational information, and supporting documentation. I distinguish between favorable and unfavorable variances and determine whether they are temporary or recurring. Finally, I communicate meaningful findings clearly so management can understand the causes and take appropriate corrective or strategic action. 20. What is internal control? Internal controls are policies and procedures designed to protect company assets, maintain accurate financial records, prevent fraud, and support compliance. Examples include segregation of duties, authorization requirements, reconciliations, access restrictions, approval processes, and regular reviews. I understand that effective controls reduce financial and operational risks while improving the reliability of accounting information. As an accountant, I would follow established controls consistently and report weaknesses or unusual activities through appropriate channels. Strong internal controls are essential for maintaining trustworthy financial operations. 21. How would you handle a difficult client or coworker? I would remain professional, patient, and focused on resolving the issue rather than taking the situation personally. First, I would listen carefully to understand the person's concern and clarify any misunderstandings. Then I would explain the accounting information or company procedure clearly using facts and supporting documentation. If the issue cannot be resolved directly, I would involve the appropriate supervisor. My goal would be to maintain a respectful working relationship while protecting accounting accuracy, company policies, and professional standards. 22. What would you do if you noticed suspicious financial activity? I would not ignore or conceal suspicious activity. I would first review the available documentation and confirm that the transaction genuinely appears unusual rather than being a legitimate exception. I would then follow the company's established reporting and internal control procedures and notify the appropriate authorized person. I would avoid making unsupported accusations or discussing the matter with unauthorized employees. Maintaining confidentiality and documenting relevant facts carefully would be important. Accountants have a professional responsibility to support accurate records and appropriate financial controls. 23. What is the accounting equation? The accounting equation is assets equal liabilities plus equity. It represents the fundamental relationship underlying double-entry accounting. Assets are resources controlled by the business. Liabilities represent obligations owed to others, and equity represents the owners. Residual interest after liabilities are deducted from assets. Every properly recorded transaction should maintain this balance. Understanding the equation helps me analyze transactions, identify the effects of accounting entries, review financial statements, and recognize potential inconsistencies in accounting records during reconciliations or financial reporting. 24. How do you prepare for month-end closing? I prepare for month-end closing by reviewing the closing schedule and ensuring required transactions and reconciliations are completed on time. I would record necessary accruals, review prepaid expenses, reconcile bank and balance sheet accounts, verify accounts payable and receivable, and investigate unusual balances. I would also review supporting documentation and confirm that journal entries are properly authorized. After completing the closing activities, I would analyze reports for unexpected fluctuations. A structured closing checklist helps ensure important tasks are completed consistently and accurately. 25. How do you prioritize multiple accounting tasks? I prioritize accounting tasks based on deadlines, financial significance, dependencies, and business requirements. Tasks affecting payroll, regulatory deadlines, financial reporting, cash management, or critical operations generally receive high priority. I organize assignments using a task list or calendar and divide larger projects into manageable steps. If priorities conflict, I communicate with my supervisor rather than making assumptions. I also leave enough time for review and reconciliation. This approach helps me manage multiple responsibilities while maintaining accuracy and meeting important accounting deadlines. 26. What is your experience with Excel? Excel is an important tool for accounting analysis, reporting, reconciliation, and data organization. I am comfortable using formulas, sorting, filtering, tables, and functions that help analyze financial information efficiently. Depending on the task, tools such as pivot tables, lookup functions, conditional formulas, and data validation can improve productivity and accuracy. I understand that spreadsheet controls are important because incorrect formulas or manually entered data can create errors. I carefully review calculations and compare important spreadsheet results with source records before using them. 27. What is the difference between a debit and a credit? Debits and credits are the two sides of the double-entry accounting system. Their effect depends on the type of account. Generally, debits increase assets and expenses, while credits increase liabilities, equity, and revenue. For example, purchasing equipment with cash increases the equipment account through a debit and decreases cash through a credit. I always consider the account type and transaction's economic effect before posting an entry. Understanding debits and credits is fundamental to maintaining balanced and accurate accounting records. 28. Why should we hire you as an accountant? You should hire me because I bring strong attention to detail, accounting knowledge, organization, analytical thinking, and a commitment to accuracy. I understand that accountants handle information that directly affects business decisions, compliance, and financial performance. I am comfortable working with deadlines, reviewing financial records, identifying discrepancies, and learning new accounting systems. I also value confidentiality and professional integrity. I would approach the role with a willingness to learn, collaborate with colleagues, follow established procedures, and contribute reliable financial information to the organization. 29. What are your greatest strengths as an accountant? My greatest strengths are attention to detail, analytical thinking, organization, reliability, and problem solving. I carefully review financial information and do not hesitate to investigate unusual transactions or discrepancies. I am also comfortable working with deadlines and maintaining structured records so important information can be located quickly. Another strength is my willingness to learn new accounting software, procedures, and regulations. I believe these qualities help me maintain accuracy while supporting efficient accounting operations and building trust with colleagues and management. 30. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? In 5 years, I see myself as a more experienced accounting professional with stronger technical, analytical, and leadership capabilities. I want to deepen my knowledge of financial reporting, accounting systems, taxation, internal controls, and financial analysis. I also hope to take on greater responsibility and contribute to process improvements within the organization. My goal is to continue learning while building a reputation for accuracy, reliability, and professional integrity. I would like my career progression to reflect consistent performance, increased responsibility, and valuable contributions to the company's financial operations. A successful accountant interview requires a combination of technical accounting knowledge, practical problem-solving ability, accuracy, communication skills, and professional integrity. The 30 questions and answers above cover many areas employers may evaluate, including financial statements, reconciliations, budgeting, internal controls, accounting software, Excel, month-end closing, and workplace situations. Use these sample answers as preparation, rather than memorizing them word for word. Adapt each response to your own education, experience, and achievements. With focused preparation and confident communication, you can present your accounting skills professionally and make a strong impression during your interview.